to my friend that I met while teaching, Baker, aka Friend, who was with me during the most difficult time of my life. Thanks for always having my back.
Hello and welcome to Underneath the Hat, the web series. My name is Sherri Simmons. In my book, Underneath the Hat, I discuss various hardships that I've dealt with. And so today we're going to discuss one of them, and that is friendship. So today we have here Miranda Chanel, who is a licensed social worker, and we also have the crew, as they call themselves. So all of these ladies here are friends, and so I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll jump right in.
Hi, I'm Tonda.
Hi, I'm Shantella.
I'm Evette.
I'm LaKishia.
And Anika.
So today for friendship, in my book, I discuss the various obstacles that I had to deal with of people that I considered to be my friends. And a lot of them knew things that were going on inside of my marriage, but no one said anything. So I wanted to make sure that I tackled this issue so that we can help some people out there to know what is a true friend, how should a true friend act in certain situations, and what can they do to better themselves as friends. So ladies, I want to thank you all for coming to help me today. So, first question. What is friendship to you?
For me, I think friendship is like so much. It's foundation, it's respect, it's loyalty, it's consideration, it's everything. I think some of my most profound relationships are my friendships. Mm-hmm. So yeah, friendship for me is definitely like all-encompassing ball of everything.
Okay.
Friendship is like family as well.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of times you can't choose who your family is, but with your friends, they can feel like family as well. Mm-hmm. You can talk to them about a lot of things that you can't even talk about your family to your family, you know. So to me, I feel like friendship is family.
Okay.
So I don't want to piggyback on that. The friendship that we have is something that has turned into a family.
Yeah.
You know, amongst and it's 4 of us here, but it's more outside of here. We are a family. We do speak and talk to each other honestly. We support each other through good and bad. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that's our friendship.
Okay.
I think it's keeping us grounded. Like we all motivate each other to do better. We also are those friends that we'll check each other like, no sis, that's not what we do in this crew, okay? Like get it together. So yeah, we keep each other grounded. We make sure we look out for each other. Everybody has an ear to listen when we just need to vent. We definitely are loyal and we're very territorial.
Yeah. Some more than others.
Yeah.
What about you, Tonda?
Wow, I don't know. You know what? I think that they pretty much said everything. Foundation, I heard family. I heard territorial. So for me, especially for me in my own personal situation, those things are important to me. So that's what, and also Keisha said something like, you know, you can't choose your family, but your friends you can absolutely choose. And so that's when you find those type of relationships and they become your family. That's pretty cool.
Now, you all mentioned that you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. Do you think that because of some of the relationships you have with family members, that's what you looked for in friends?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. That is. Yeah. Okay, so I can say like I'm the only child. Mm-hmm. And so even though I have 1,000 cousins, I don't have a sister. Okay. And so I consider these ladies my sisters. Like it's stuff that I can tell them and bring to them that I wouldn't tell anybody else.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I think amongst these ladies it's kind of the total opposite. They offer to me what I cannot get from family. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, as we develop this relationship, we've realized that our bond is sometimes based on the things that we were lacking from outside of this friendship. And we found that within each other.
Yeah.
I think she said something there that none of you guys said when you were describing what your friendship was. Mm-hmm. And that's that friendships are relationships. Mm-hmm. And with any ship, it ought to take you somewhere. Mm-hmm. So you guys talked about loyalty. You talked about family. You talked about this is the safe to check you circle. Mm-hmm. And that ultimately is what real friendship is. But we run into struggles because we put people in relationships that they're not ready to be in, whether they're platonic or romantic. And so while you guys seem like you have this foundation that works for you, sometimes the expectations that we have in our friendships are what cause our friendships to fall apart, because we expect to be able to get back something out that we're putting in. And so if our friendships don't have the capacity to meet our need, is it really a friendship? If you need loyalty and I can't be loyal to you, can we maintain that friendship? No. If you need me to be a sister and I don't have any either, so I don't know how to play that role, I can't fulfill that role in your life as your friend. So where does that relationship take you? Because I think often as Black women, we consider relationships always being romantic. Yeah. What I need out of him, what I need out of Bae, what I need to get back out of that. But we fail to hold some of our friends accountable to the expectations that we have of them.
Okay, I hear you. And so what I see, right, in our friendships is that we are open to learning, right? Yeah, so you said something like, I'm expecting you to just, be loyal to me, but she doesn't know how, but she's open to learn. And so I think that's kind of what makes our friendship work and why we are able to say we've been friends for 10 and 12 and 15 years. And I meet a lot of people and that I've worked with, went to school with, and have you, and they'll always say, you still talk to people from high school? I do. And we're really close. You know what I mean? So that's a blessing. But yeah, I think just being open to learning how to, so whether that's, platonic, intimate, or whatever, just like in your personal relationships, if you're not open to, then it's kind of hard to make that work. That's.
So even though this is the crew, I originally started by meeting Baker, whose name is Evette, and we met through our work experience. So we're both teachers. We were both teachers with CPS. And when I was going through my issues with my first husband, I had moved out. Baker was the first person I called. She helped me move, her and her Camaro and me and my Nissan Sentra. Moved all of my things out into my condo, and no one knew but Baker. And even my parents didn't find out until 3 months after I had moved out. Because of the relationship that I had formed with her, I felt comfortable with her and not being judged by the decisions that I was making and also by what had actually happened. So how do you all as friends go about having difficult conversations with each other or sharing your life experiences and not feeling that you'll be judged for it?
I have to chime in on this one because I think that all of us have experienced terrible things, right? In relationships and in work and just in life in general, we've experienced some terrible things. So I've never seen a group of women, especially of color, not like literally have a judgment-free zone. Like I can tell them anything from, sexual experiences to bowel movements, like the weirdest, and I'm serious. Like we talk about the oddest, most inappropriate things. Very inappropriate. We never judge. I've never walked away from a conversation with any of them and felt like, I wonder what they're thinking about me. And that is the most, amazing feeling. Like, to the point where I don't want to talk to my significant other. I need to call my sister. Like, I need to let them know what's going on. And they always have the words. They always have the support. Like, and it's not always like peaches and cream. Like, sometimes you got to cuss them out. Like, listen, this does not make sense. But at no point judging, just being supportive. And some people show their support, mainly me, in a different way. So it might come off aggressive, but I genuinely love these girls. So yeah, I think the only time I've seen like a no judgment zone was with these ladies.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm thinking like, well, how does that happen, right? Because I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I think again, just for many different reasons, the importance of having that that thing that you're lacking, right? Because traditionally, you're only supposed to receive these things from family, that type of support, right? And so I just don't. Again, because I think we see each other as family, we've kind of like formed our own type of family because I call her my sister from a different mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So we're able to give that to each other without being judgmental or, you know, just being able to have someone to go to, I would say. You know, it's a difficult one. I don't know.
Here's how it happens. So it happens by not being intimidated by your circle. And I think that what we see in social media, what we see in reality TV, what we see just broadcasted is a big hoopla, and everything has to be a scene, and everything has to be an announcement, when in reality, there's a safety in silence. And that goes into some other issues, but the truth of the matter is that in order for you to have that safety, that Planet Fitness, no judgment zone, there has to be a level of comfortability where you celebrate my wins without them intimidating you. And I can carry you through your losses without me broadcasting your business. And creating a space where you're safe to be who you are without the brows, without the lashes, without the bad shoes, like, because on a bad day, like,
my hair down.
Listen, right, because there's a track back here, and if I cut it, I'm gonna have a ball spot.
All right.
You need that safe space, and that's where friendship like this is built, and that's where it's nourished and it's nurtured. You grow in your friendships not through the good times, but through the bad times. You become friends with people when you know who you can call to bail you out.
Absolutely.
Who is that person? Look, I'm gonna send you this address because it's been a roll. Absolutely. And if you get a text that say 22, I need you to run. You know what I mean? Wait, don't ask no questions.
She can't go on a date without sending the license plate. She already know
That's me.
Because that's your safety zone. But unfortunately, there has been a change in the times, and where what's seen is, I slept with him before you slept with him, and you ain't know I slept with him, and now I'm coming back to sleep with him. First of all, you have too many miles on that thing. I need to die. And that's what's being celebrated. That's what's being broadcasted. These types of friendships are not what's being seen. And so generations underneath us don't know what friendship is. That's why girls are getting found in hotels and in cars and disappearing. You going to the well with who? No, I'm going with you. Because that's just the way that friendship works. And nobody's teaching that. Nobody's teaching that you don't do things by yourself. You don't go through things by yourself. And so we have to get to a place where we understand that sometimes friendship ain't peaches and cream. Sometimes it's the stuff that you don't see on social media. It's the secrets that ain't nobody else telling. It's the places, you know, those doctor's appointments that you don't want to go to by yourself, but you don't want nobody else to know you're going.
It's a matter of hearing things that you may not want to hear. You know, because you don't want a yes person that's going to agree with everything that you may say or whatever. You want to come to your friend and say, like, was I wrong? Or whatever that case may be. Like, I just want a friend that's going to be honest. And tell me when I'm wrong. Or just tell me something that I need to know that's going to help me grow as a woman.
Help you be better.
Because they may have experienced some things that I may have not experienced. So I just think that is what we have as a friendship. You know, there's things that, you know, they have taught me, and I'm just like coming out, and I'm just like purging things about whatever it is that I'm going through. And I feel that comfort. Like, I feel comfortable to say, like, hey, this is what I'm going through. And they're like, hey, this is what you need to do. Or, you know, and I can accept it or not. But I do appreciate that I have friends that are going to tell me something, and they're going to be honest with me. And that's point blank.
I think that the best thing about our circle is it's somebody that went through whatever we're going through.
Absolutely.
Like it's never been a time that you chime in or in a group chat and they're like, well, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, I remember when so everybody always has, the group chat is daily. So that's like, if I ever die, okay, please, immediately delete all group chat, okay, please, just in advance.
So what do you tell those girls who don't have those role models or friends like you? They don't see their mother in relationships with women. Mm-hmm. So what do you tell them so that they can become better girlfriends and better sisters to their counterpart? Because like Miranda said, they have reality TV as their source, where they're throwing glasses at each other and telling each other's business and sleeping with each other's men. So what things should we tell young women that they need to make sure that they're different characteristics that they're flourishing so that they can become a good friend to whomever may cross their path?
I think it's I'm sorry, sis. I think it's like, first you have to be like confident in yourself. Like you have to be the best you, right? Before you can be a friend to someone else.
I love yourself.
So it's like, I feel like we're all alpha females. We're all alpha dangerous. And so we're like, we all have strong personalities. Mm-hmm. And so it takes a lot, like I think it's like it takes self-reflection, right? Mm-hmm. To be like, okay, you tripping. And like if she's able to tell me this, like when you did something that you're not supposed to do, or when you've been a bad person. I feel like people know that, right? Mm-hmm. And so the fact that your friends can say that to you, and it allows you to self-reflect, and I think that's the part that girls have to understand. Like you still have to be you to be a friend to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what a lot of it is. Like I don't do things to please them. Mm-hmm. I'm living my life, right? And they make having them makes my life great as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm still living my life, so you still have to be your own person and love yourself first.
Absolutely.
And then I think that's when the genuine friendships will come about. But I can't do things just to please them. That's not a friendship.
And I was gonna say
me too.
pretty much the same thing. Like
be yourself,
my friend, but I want to say self-love is first. Mm-hmm. You have to love yourself, and we may not even know who we are yet because we're always growing. Mm-hmm. But within this group of friends that I have, we all have our roles. Mm-hmm. And even if that's not the role that you decided to play, but that's just kind of who you are in each of these relationships, Mm-hmm. But I had to find within me that true self. Mm-hmm. And they have allowed me to grow in that person. When I first met Tonda, like I was not a great friend. And I can definitely go back into those moments. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a loner. And she wouldn't allow me to be alone. I'm like, and she will come to my door and I'm like, so you're just gonna make me be your friend. Okay. She would not allow me to be a loner, and I learned how to be a great friend from her, and then incorporating the rest. I'm like, okay, like this is good. I'm comfortable. They make me comfortable. So knowing first who you are and just having that self-love and wanting to be better, they make me better. So I think that those are things that we can share with our young adults, in friendship.
Can I play devil's advocate?
I was about to.
There is a study that I have been studying. Okay, I'm going to put on my professional hat. There's a study that I've been studying that talks about self-love, and it's so funny that these are the first things that you bring up. And usually, even like as I work with women in relationships and identity issues, because we all got them, we talk about self-love and understanding who we are and putting ourselves first and things of that sort. But there's a study that has really sparked my interest that says the true way to really have self-love is to allow somebody else to love you in your voice. Because we learn how to love based on what we've given. So if nobody has taught me how to love myself, how can I love myself if I don't first allow somebody to give me that? So you said it when you said I wasn't a good friend, but she taught me that. So a part of your journey to love yourself was her being able to fill a void that you had, whether you wanted to admit it or not. And so many women, especially Black women, we struggle in friendships because we've never had them. I can't be to you what I've never had. I can't give to you what I don't have in my possession. And so I don't know how to be a friend. I don't know how to accept one. Please stop calling me. Why are you like, I don't know how to receive that, because even in our families, we don't get it. You know what I mean? We grow up with mommy issues, with daddy issues. We got these siblings that they my blood, but I don't fool with her. We all grew up in the same house, but we're nothing alike. And so then we're sent off into the world to try to be something to other people that we've never gotten for ourselves. So how do I listen to you as a friend when nobody has ever heard me? How do I show up for you when I've been in this world by myself? I'm the only child. You want me to do what? When girl, I'm asleep. You know, like we can't give. You know what I'm saying? What was that noise? I'm in here by myself. Was it a squirrel or a mouse? I don't know. Either way, we got fine. You know, but like we cannot give to others what we don't have. We max out our capacity in that space, and so it looks like we're bad friends, but in reality, I just don't have it to give to you. I don't know how, and so we owe it to ourselves to allow somebody else to fill those voids. I think our problem is that we position ourselves. Beyonce has taught us that we could be independent and we don't need nobody to do nothing. And, you know, if we just stay in formation, but I have to know what that formation looks like. Like, I got to know what these other chicks in the pictures supposed to. Like, what is this formation we're getting in? I don't know. I don't have that. So, you know, like the concept of I can do this all by myself. We weren't created to do things all by ourselves. We were created to be a part of a unit. Be it familial, be it friendship, be it in the workplace, establishing an entrepreneurship. Like, there's nothing in this world that you do all by yourself. And so if we could get off the platform of, I only need 3 friends and they me, myself, and I, we would be able to go farther.
So, Shannon, you mentioned about self-reflection, and Baker, you talked about how you realized you were not a good friend, and Tonda helped to show you how to become one. So, in your friendships, whether it's now or previous relationships, have you ever had a person that you consider to be an anchor, someone who held you back, wasn't there for you as they should have been, and how do you go about getting rid of their relationship or mending it if you choose to?
Not in friendships, maybe like relationships, but as far as this crew that I'm with, we lost a friend. We lost a friend. So everybody doesn't make the cut.
I think everybody has situations where we've had to walk away.
And I think that I'm going through that right now, honestly. And I don't know, like, how do you walk from something like that when you feel like there is someone that's holding you back and, you know, and maybe necessarily negative, you know, and they're not being that person that's going to uplift you and help you grow, you know what I mean? And so that's the process I'm going through, you know, as far as like who's going to be that savior, who's going to be that person that's going to hold you back. And that's the process that I'm going through right now, as far as like pulling myself from, you know, individuals that may make me feel like, oh, well, you might not be the right person I need to be hanging around with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always seeming to see like certain like, you know, there seems to be like a pattern. You know,
Because you're too nice.
I am, and I don't know if that it could be a good and a bad thing when you have that type of trait of being someone. It's a pro and a con of being someone who is a good friend, having a good heart, and that's just in general, having that good heart and just accepting those people for who they are and looking at the good in them, but also it's bad to just kind of like look past those flaws, because that can be a bad thing for you, and you're growing as a person, you know, just growing as a person.
But a lot of it, LaKishia, is determining who your friends are. Like, a lot of times we hang out with people and we socialize with them, and then they go straight from the I just met you bucket to the friendship bucket, and it doesn't work that way. And we teach our kids, everybody not your friend. And so I'm saying to you, I watched you befriend people, but it's one-sided. And you can't, that's not going to flourish because you're always going to be the person that's trying. Meanwhile, they're like, oh, yeah, I just kicked it with Keisha. She cool. Like, she a good time. Right. So if it's not going to work in your romantic relationships, it's not going to work in your platonic relationships. So you have to have a spirit of discernment and be able to filter those people out and walk away, because like you spend a lot of time worrying about how it's gonna make them feel.
Boom on them.
And bye-bye.
That's why they my friend.
It doesn't work. But also understanding that person or these people can be in her life, but she has to know what part of, or what role they play. You know what I mean? So we all have friends outside of the crew, right? And some of them are not introduced to the crew, and some of them, they don't understand. Sherri has been introduced to the crew. We cool with Sherri. Right. You know what I mean? But not everybody is part of the crew. And so if you have a value in this person, and clearly you do, because you enjoy time with them, you just need to know where they fit. Like, I have a party friend, and that's who I go and kick it and party with, and then I have a friend that I can pray with. You know what I mean? And these are not things that I may bring to the crew, but these are the small pieces that they help me with and I help them with. So sometimes, you know, if you got to look at certain people and say, well, you know, we're really not gaining anything from each other, and it's more of me giving to you, sometimes you got to like,
well, not only that, but how do you be able to discern a person that's really truly value your friendship versus someone who could be jealous or envious?
If they can't get with the crew, then they ain't right.
This is what I'm talking about. The whole self-reflection thing. If you feel some type of way about it, like if you got a question,
then that's their
position, then they not who you think they are. Don't try to put them in the box that they not. If I got to question your loyalty, your position in my life, then you don't need to be there. You gonna stay over on the side, and we gonna get together.
You know, when we have a concerning excuse, or having a friend that could be a concerning friend, or someone that could be like overly protected to where you feel like, oh, you doing too much. Where do you draw the line?
First of all, very cliche, very real. When people show you who they are, believe them.
First time.
And so that's where you start. People, you get one time to make a first impression. One. That second time, it ain't no accident. That is truly who you are. And so you have to allow people to be who they are and accept that that's just who you are. Number two, it becomes a moment of self-reflection. What is it that you're looking for that person to do for you? And why is it that you can't let that thing go? Because you might really need it, but you might not need it from them. Right. And so it's less about them than it is about you. Because if I can accept that I need this and I thought I could get it from you, but I can't, then it's a whole lot easier for me to let you go and know that I need to go find this somewhere else. Right. And that's okay on both sides. But if in any type of relationship, it makes you uncomfortable, don't miss the signs.
Yeah.
Don't miss the signs. It's not just romantic relationships that you should be like,
friendships as well.
Something about this ain't right.
Yeah.
Like, if you make me uncomfortable being me or having other friends or being able to do what the things that I want to do or in support or in love or in whatever, then this may not be a friendship. We drop the F-bomb too easily. We drop way too many F-bombs and it's not enough filter on it. And so we need to be careful about who we give that title to, because there's an expectation in my friendship. And so the same way that you're not going to make everybody your man, you can't make everybody your friend. If you can't, for real, like, I'm going to start running people, here goes the application, submit your resume. Because look at their other friends. Check their references. Check their references. If you ain't got no friends, we miss the sirens and the red signs. It's stop signs say everywhere, and we walk right into it like, but I can fix it. No, we don't have to be Captain Save 'em all the time. Some people need to be left in the season that they're in because they're not growing. So you out here watering dead plants trying to figure out why it won't bloom again. It's because that thing is dead.
Girl, you gotta
not necessarily be a friend, and you know what position that they may lie in. How do you transcend into moving away, or do you just do you openly say, "Hey, you're not for me," or
that depends on the situation. It depends on how that person is going to respond. There are going to be some people where you can have that very transparent talk of, "Look, this ain't working out." And there's some other people.
You just
that
got
block button gotta be strong.
Right.
Because I don't owe you any explanation for taking care of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I owe you nothing to take care of me. I have to be my number one priority.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me selfish. It doesn't make me arrogant. It just makes me understand that if I don't take care of me, I sure enough can't take care of you. I can't take care of my kids. I can't take care of my mate. I can't take care of my position in work. We wear too many hats to exhaust ourselves in a relationship or a friendship that's not blooming. And so I don't owe you an explanation for walking away for my benefit, especially if you already showing me signs that you're unstable. Because me walking away might put me in a position of danger. And I can't
She felt.
I think people have to realize it's a real thin line between trying to see the best in somebody and then trying to change them. It's a real thin line. Like you have to really think about that. Like you are really on the seeing the best in people's side. When you gotta
see who they are.
Yeah,
and you have to understand also there's a fine line in holding somebody down and drowning yourself. I can't drown trying to hold you down. Either way it goes, I'm at the bottom.
Right.
And somebody has to be there to pick me up. And so it sounds like you got a crew of 6 who are willing to pick you up. But if you keep jumping overboard, it's going to be a point where they'll be like, you staying down there because you don't know how to act.
We gotta let the water get right here. We gotta let the water get right here. But we gonna get it. That's back.
This is why I love these ladies. They're honest. They're very honest.
So now let's play a game. So, we've all seen. I know you were just singing "What About Your Friends," and so I want to know what group of girlfriends that we know from TV, whether it's Living Single or the Golden Girls. Which group best describes the crew?
Girlfriends.
Oh, girlfriends. Okay, girlfriends.
With John Clayton.
Okay, so are you Joan?
No.
Would you say you're Joan?
No,
So
I'm not
who's
Joan.
Joan out the group?
I would say Tonda is
I knew they were going to say that.
She's very high maintenance. And then you have one who is probably a little bit ratchet. What's her name?
Girlfriends. Maya.
I'm Maya. I'm Maya for sure. And it could be a multiple of us. It's Maya.
Combination. I feel like it's a combination.
You know, you got that friend that be like, oh hell no, that's me.
We just got a message though that we was the girls from Insecure.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Our friendship reminds them of the Insecure.
And that's who it could be.
I don't know that I want to know who's who.
Right. And we are not.
I haven't been up to date with Insecure.
I don't think I'm anybody.
Right.
That was just a recent message.
So what about girls trip?
Yeah.
Because when we went, I'm like, oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Okay, what? Because we all went to the movies to see. I'm trying to think. Who's
I'm Tiffany Hash.
You got Tiffany.
I'm very
You can't get an infection.
I am that friend. That's part of why I am who I am. So I'm not afraid to say it. So
No, I did. We moms. I'm a new mom, so I'm like, where's my baby? But I don't think I was Jada though.
You don't think so?
oh my God, are you serious?
She was Jada from the after.
She was, but she not like that no more. She kind of a mixture of a lot, but I think that some folks that
It's a
just
mix.
became the new mom. Both y'all.
Them two is got a little Tiffany in them, and
Who, me and her?
Twin
I think all of them. I think all of them.
Petty
I think all three of us are Tiffany.
Baby, right here, Petty Betties, okay?
Oh yeah, they are very.
We need our own show because I don't know.
It's a mixture of a lot of us.
Yeah.
in that show. Yeah, we can mix it up a little.
I think when you good at code switching, then you
Yeah.
So which we try to teach the kids. You gotta
We
try to teach.
You got to.
Well, ladies, I want to say this has been very enlightening. And I have learned a lot. And I hope that our viewers have. But before we go, there's someone special who will be celebrating a birthday next week. So, here are my cupcakes. So, we couldn't leave without saying happy birthday to Baker. Bring the cupcake.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
is not turkey.
So,
No, we not gonna
no,
swipe
girl. So, let's each take one, that way we can eat it when we do.
And you like, OMG.
And so, I just want to say happy birthday, friend. Thank you for being there for me when I needed you. And for introducing me to the crew. I'm glad I made it in.
We all like know each other, right?
In some form of fashion.
In some form of fashion.
So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Underneath the Hat, the web series. And again, happy birthday, Baker.
Thank
you. And thank you to Miranda Chanel, our licensed social worker, and to all of the crew.
Yes.
Again, we hope, -1. We hope that from this web series you're able to become better women and better friends. So tune in next time. Until then, bye.
Yeah.